friends, welcome back to One Day IoT workshop. I am Kavedia sir. I hope everybody knows me now, and in this second session we'll be seeing something about what is Internet of Things. So I hope the first session will be very clear to you, which will say what is embedded system. Now connecting to that, this is the second session, that is Internet of Things. So friends, keep your pen paper ready to note down the questions, and we'll continue with the session of IoT. Now friends, what do you mean by the word IoT? So as the name says, IoT is Internet of Things. Now here things means what? Things means the things which are getting connected to internet. Maybe it's your cell phone, maybe your washing machine, maybe your refrigerator, maybe your air conditioner, or even it may be any mobile device which is getting connected to internet and which is identified by a unique ID is called as Internet of Things. Now take an example, you are booking Ola or Uber. What you do basically, you request for the vehicle. So your location is shared with that person who is driving the vehicle, and his location is shared with you. So what exactly is happening? Your location is sensed by GPS. It is sent to the another end. His location is sent by GPS and is sent to you. So in this way, both the locations are sent and both becomes part of IoT. Now what is there in your cell phone and his cell phone common is the sensor which is sensing the GPS location. So GPS location is shared. So basically your IoT is nothing but it's something which has physical object. Now what's that physical object? It's your cell phone. Then a controller which is there in the cell phone. Then there is a sensor. Fine. Now what is a sensor here? It's a GPS location sensor. And the actuator which will send the information from one end to another end. Now this information will be sent only when there is an internet. If there is no internet, information won't be shared. So the internet is very important part for communication between the two devices, that is the two objects. So your cell phone, your GPS sensor, your controller, if this much it will become your embedded system, and once it gets connected to internet, it will be called as Internet of Things. So one of the simplest example is your Ola and Uber. So at every moment of time, wherever you go, your location is being shared. It is being tracked by Google. And you might be knowing, once you go to some place, and if it's a place where it's a restaurant or a theater, you move out of that, you will get a message. How was your experience at this and this place? How these things automatically happens? This happens because of Internet of Things. Your mobile phone, your sensors, everything is connected to internet, and Google is tracking all those information. So I can say Internet of Things is a physical object, a controller, a sensor, a actuator, and an internet, which makes Internet of Things. And the very important thing is it should have a unique IP address. That's what's called as Internet of Things. Now apart from the name Internet of Things, there are various other names, and those names are machine to machine communication. So there's a communication between two machines. So I've given an example of Ola and Uber. So what is happening? One cell phone at one end, another cell phone at another end. Both are getting communicated with each other. That's why it's called as machine to machine communication. It is Internet of everything. So whatever is connected to it is called as Internet of everything. Next comes, it's a world size web, because it is around the globe. That's why it's called as world size web. And you know the movie Terminator. In movie Terminator, this term is called as Skynet. So whether it's a machine to machine or Internet of everything or world size web or Skynet, all the names are same. So friends, here you may get a question about what it is also called as. Now what our IoT gives us, it helps in booking the tickets, it helps in finding the location, it helps in finding the information, and lot many things. So what my IoT says is, it gives you things at any time, any place, and at anything. So my IoT will provide information any time. Whenever you get connected, you want information, it will provide you. Any place, wherever, from wherever you are, it will give you the information. and then anything, whatever is connected to internet, every possible you will get the information. So that is what the benefit of IoT. So friends, here you may get the second question or some questions out of this. Now, what internet is doing? So internet of thing is expanding interdependence of human to interact, communicate and collaborate. So we'll see these things one by one in detail. Now, what are the benefits of internet? So it is efficient resource utilization. Now, prior to internet of things, suppose if I want to go to find something, I have to go to market, I have to ask 10 different people, so I'm wasting time, I'm investing time. But here, if I have a cell phone, if I have a PC with an internet connection, I can very easily and efficiently use that resource with minimum human efforts. So if I want to search, suppose for a pizza, so what I have to do, just go on Google, find out the pizza, and I can ask Google which is the nearest pizza center near my home or near my residence. It will give me. So it is giving minimum human effort, definitely with improved security. So in IoT you can have in security also, and development through AI. So what I've told you, the moment you go to any restaurant, any pizza parlor or any theater, enjoy your time, come back. The moment you come back, it will tell you how was your experience. Now suppose for example, if you go to a mall to purchase something, and when you purchase that particular product, what will happen? Now purchasing that product, after that you come out, so your location is tracked, that how much time in which shop you have spent, and after that once you come out of the mall and if you start browsing it, you will get same type of information. So that is where your AI comes into picture, that is artificial intelligence. And finally, it saves time. I've given you the example that whenever I want to go out for searching from product, I have to invest time, but through this IoT concept I can save time. Now let's say if I want to go from one point to another point, so I have to take a rickshaw, so I have to go out physically, ask for the rickshaw, I have to wait till I get a rickshaw in that complete hot atmosphere, it may be polluted atmosphere. So instead of that, I can use my Ola and Uber apps. So what will happen? I just check in and I can wait at my place, and within no time I'll get at my doorstep and it will pick me up and send me. So it will save time. That is what is another benefit of IoT. Now how it functions? So first it connects. So connect means various things to IoT platform. So first part is connection. So when I say Ola, Uber or anything which is connected to internet, so that is your connection. Second is analyze. Analyze the data collected, use it to build business intelligence. So I've given you example of the mall. What will happen there? It is collecting all the information. It will find out from that information what is your choice, what is your taste, and it will show only the product related to that type only. Fine. And you might have seen one advertisement. It was very much going on some time before that. अरे मेरे गूगल में तो ये दिख रहा है, मेरे ऐप में तो दिख रहा है, बट मेरे में तो अलग दिखता है. There is a background sound in that telling that it shows you the thing according to your interest. So that is what it does, analyze and then integrate. So integrate various models to improve user experience. Now very different models are used. It will try to enhance the things in such a way that the user will always be pleased and kept at the higher priority, so that more and more business also can be generated from this. So what is done in Connect? Connect is, very first point is device virtualization. So what device virtualization says? Standardized integration of devices with IoT enterprise. Now thing is, when I am connecting the devices, now say let's my cell phone, whether it's a Apple or Android, whatever type of OS has, it is connected to OS. Now second thing, any machine with Unix, Linux, Mac, any damn OS is getting connected to internet. So what thing common should be there is standardization or virtualization. Means a Unix machine can communicate with Windows machine can communicate with Mac machine, your mobile phone can communicate with machine. So every different devices can talk. That is just because of device virtualization. Second thing should be high speed messaging, and that to be bi-directional. So if there is no bi-directional message, IoT is of no use. So we should get bi-directional message. Now suppose I'm booking, again I'm taking the example of booking with Ola and Uber. So if it's a no bi-directional communication, it doesn't make any sense. And third is endpoint management. Now endpoint management means managing the endpoint identity lifecycle of the state of all the devices. Now let's say if I'm using right now my PC, and after some time I go out and I'm using the cell phone, so status can be maintained. Whatever I have left on my PC can be available on my cell phone if I am logged in with the same ID. Now very simple example I can give you is when I'm using my Amazon Prime. Now if I'm saving movie on my PC and then I've stopped, and the next time I turn it on through cell phone, it will show me where I've stopped at last point. So it is maintaining the state of all the devices. Coming to the next is analyze. So what we have seen is connect. In connect there is a device virtualization, high speed messaging and endpoint management. And the next comes is analyze. Now analyze does is stream processing, data enrichment and event store. So what is stream processing? So whatever information I'm getting is real-time information. So that real-time information, now to an IoT, n number of devices, n type of devices are connected. So all the huge lot of data will be available. So that data is to be separated, segregated, so that particular action can be taken on a group of data. So there should be perfect filtering out of the data, how to maintain the relation between that data, and then you have to take the action on that particular data. So when my cell phone is on, suppose if I'm traveling from here to Mumbai and I stop at 10 different places, so maybe out of the 10 different places, 8 different data would be useful. So only the 2 important data should be filtered out and information related to that should be given. So that is what is called as stream processing. Now the next is data enrichment. So data, what we are getting is raw data. So I have to process that data, remove the unwanted information and take out only the needed information. So maybe 2 or 3 different streams to be correlated and I may get a data out of that. And then third comes is your event store. So query, visualize massive amount of data integrated with BI cloud support and enable big data analysis. Now event store says query and visualize massive amount of data. Now whatever data we are getting in IoT is unstructured data. This unstructured data is to be processed. For that our standard SQL is not useful. So we have to go to some concepts like big data analysis. So I have to go for huge amount of data processing. Coming to that is enterprise connectivity, that is dynamically dispatch critical IoT data and event to application and process the flow. So enterprise connectivity says dynamically dispatch. Now when I'm getting a lot of data, now supposing that lot of data, I'm getting some data which is very critical information like about flood or a fire or any disaster, then that data is to be filtered out. That should be properly given to the respective agent so that they can work out on that and necessary actions can be taken. So that is what is your enterprise connectivity. For that what we need is integration with cloud, because when I'm getting huge amount of data, so when I'm getting huge amount of data, that data should be shared and there should be a common platform. So I should use APIs, that is application program interface. Now take an example that I have a smart home and my smart car. So the data which is coming from smart home will be different and the data which is coming from the smart car will be different. But then if I want that both should communicate with each other, then definitely I should have a common platform. Now that common platform is nothing but my cloud. Now let's say at my home I want the devices to be turned on as soon as I reach near the home. So how these 2 devices can talk? They can talk each other with the help of something which is called as cloud. And to integrate that, definitely we need some sort of APIs. And finally comes command and control. So send message to devices from enterprises, mobile apps, independent devices, connectivity. So whatever devices which are connected, they should send a message. Now suppose if my home automation system is connected to internet and suddenly something goes wrong, that device even should be in a position to send the message to my cell phone. My cell phone should control that particular automation system. So that is how the different things can get connected. They can talk to each other, they can share the information, and this is only possible because of something what is called as IoT. So my friends, I hope you are enjoying the session. So in these 3 points, that is analyze, connect and integrate, you may get a lot of questions, because in these 3 points, that is connect, that is device virtualization, high speed messaging and endpoint management is there. In analyze, stream processing, data enrichment and event store is there. And in in integrate, I have enterprise connectivity, REST API and command and control. So friends, in these 3 things, you may get different variety of questions. So please note down what you are seeing, observing, which will help you for attempting the test. So let's move further. And yet you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel and hit the bell notification so that you will get the messages as soon as my new video will be uploaded. So friends, continuing with the further topic. Now, what are the different stages of IoT? Now, in IoT, I need sensors and actuators. I need internet gateways. I need edge IT and data centers. Now, I hope you very well know why I need sensors and actuators. Sensor will take the data from the physical world and give it to the device, and actuators will take the data from the device and give it to the physical world. So to have a communication between the physical world, I need something which is called as sensors and actuators. Now take an example. If I want to record my temperature, so I need a temperature sensor that will be connected to my device, and device will process it and it will control the temperature with the help of actuators. So there may be n number of sensors like temperature sensor, fire sensor and all those things that you will see in the next session. Then comes internet gateway. Definitely I need an internet gateway because I should have an internet connectivity. Then third comes edge IT. Now why this edge IT is needed? So when my 2 devices are communicating, maybe one device may be of one network, another device may be of another network. So there should be proper communication between the devices. So I need edge IT. Maybe at one end the device may be of Windows and other end the device may be of Mac. So there should be a protocol. There should be protocol matching, that is matching of information, transferring the information, and all possible things should be converted from one network to another network so that they can communicate with each other. That is called as edge IT. And I've told you this IoT the devices which are connected to IoT are generating a huge lot of data. So where the data to be stored? That is stored in the cloud. So cloud becomes a common platform. Now if I say my smart city, in my smart city the traffic signals on the temperature and the atmospheric controls and the disaster controls, all things will be generating data where that to be stored. It should be stored on a common platform of cloud, because every device will have different protocols, different talking ways, different type of information, but they shared with the help of cloud. So I hope these 4 stages, that is sensors, actuators, internet gateways, edge IT and data centers are clear to you. So friends, here also you can get more questions on this. So please note down so that you will attempt to answer very nicely, and surely this event will be a very nice event and definitely will be getting a very nice information in these sessions. I hope I'm not dragging you towards the boring side, and I hope the session is going very interesting. So let's say one of the real life example of IoT. Now let's say it's a disaster management. So I have a server which is connected to internet, and these small red dots are nothing but the sensors which are called as modes or MEMS, micro electronic mechanical systems, and these modes are self-configuring. You can see in the video that all are first sprayed. When they are sprinkled, they are trying to connect to each other. So see this, they are making the network of this each other. So this is what is a network, and it is connected to gateway. Now there is a communication. So if there is a failing communication, 2 devices won't get connected. And friends, you might have studied a shortest path algorithm data structures. So here this shortest path algorithm is implemented. Also, when I want to travel from my car to my residence, if both the locations are marked in my GPS system, it will try to find out the shortest possible way to transfer take me from the place where I am to my residence. So this type of applications, like where route is to be tracked or shortest path is to be tracked, data structures comes into picture. So friends, this is what is a complete and real life example of disaster where all these sensors are getting connected to each other. Now let's say there is a rain. Now when this rain is falling, what will happen? Water will start shedding. Now when this water starts shedding, what will happen? Now see here, there is a water logging. Now this information is to be passed to particularly to my server, and from there it will be passed to everything. So this will try to find out the shortest possible route, and then it will give information to my server. So in this you can see all the 4 stages. There are sensors and actuators. Fine. What was the second step? Yes, correct. So the second step is here. The third is edge IT, and fourth is cloud. From here it will give the information to my server. So in this way all the 4 fields are working, all the 4 stages are working in this example. So I hope you might have understood how IoT can be helping me in the critical applications. So let's say different applications, and very nice and beautiful application like smart toothbrush, then there is happy fork, then there is glucose meter. So don't you feel funny that why smart toothbrush is needed? Friends, but it is a real technique how actually we are brushing, not we but the kids. You know, when we were the kids, what we used to do, मम्मी हमको ब्रश में पेस्ट लगा के देती थी, हम लोग धोखे बोल देते थे हो गया. But here you can't, unless and until you really brush it, because this information will be stored in the cloud or in the IoT servers. Same is the happy fork and glucose monitoring. Happy fork will tell you your eating patterns and at what time you are eating and whether it is proper or not. And a glucometer is for diabetic patients. Then there is smart piggy bank, smart washing machines, smart lighting systems. So in smart piggy bank, and if it is not a smart, what we used to do, whenever we need money, we used to take it out. But this time if you try to take, the dad will get a message, oh, somebody has taken the money from the piggy bank. And who has taken, he will get even information about that. The next is hydroponic system. Then there is blood pressure monitor. There is smart AC. I think no need to explain all these things. Then comes your Bluetooth enable insoles, sense mother and smart sleep system. Now Bluetooth enable sole will tell you how much you have walked. So that information will be given. Smart sleeping system and sense mother. So all these are smart systems. Now Bluetooth sole, suppose you imagine that the system is like that suppose you walk for 1 kilometer daily, you can use your television or you can entertainment yourself with the television for 5 minutes. So if you walk for 10 kilometers, it will be 50 minutes. If such type of systems are made, then what will happen? We can be fit, fine and enjoying person. Next comes your smart t-shirts and smart mother. I have already told you. Bluetooth insoles I have told you. The next is smart tennis racket, smart door locks and smart garbage cans. Now smart tennis racket will understand or learn the pattern of the tennis player, so that it can be taught to the newcomers that how actually tennis is to be played, with how much force the ball is to be hit and all the different parameters. Smart lock, they are used nowadays in the big restaurant, big hotels. And smart garbage can, definitely it is for the waste management. The next is smart mirror, smart socks and smart cardio. So they have many different applications. Smart socks will give you the parameter of your legs, that whether it is infected or sweating more, or you have to change, or they are stressed more, and all those different types of parameters. Smart mirror will give you the daily information and you can use that on the mirror. And smart cardio, it will give you the cardiac parameters. Daily while cycling it is can be used, while walking it can be used, while running on the cardio machines it can be used. Then there is nod, there is dancing robotic spider and smart gardening. So in smart gardening, what you can do, you can have a watering system that when there is a humidity or when there is a dryness in the sand or the soil, that can be properly watered whenever needed. And then you have a dancing spider just for fun, or it can be a small, the game or a small toy. Now apart from your IoT, that is Internet of Things, now it has become a wide scale, on the wide scale. So IoT has now into many different phases. Like one is Internet of Wearable Things. So whatever things which you're wearing, whether it's maybe your watch, or whether it's maybe your rings or jewelries, even your t-shirts, they are smart nowadays. All those are connected with sensors. So let's see what is there more on IoT. Apart from your wearable things, IoT is of underwater things, which can sense all the parameter of underwater. Then it is of underground things. So it can give me the underground parameters like earthquakes or tsunami, all these things underwater and underground. Then it is Internet of Battlefield, which can be used in battlefield. So it can detect whether there are minefields or some gas leakages or bombs nearby or enemies nearby. So it will help our soldiers to find out the enemies and what is the plan of the enemy. So that is what can be done. Now, if you remember, if you have seen the movie called as Uri, in that there is a bird flying. That bird is actually an best example of IoT find out the information. So such type of things can be used in Internet of Battlefield. So Uri is one of the nice example for battlefield. Then comes Internet of Robotic Things. In the robotic things, the very best example is the Sophia. So it is a IoT. Then you can say Internet of Robotics, our Alexa is there, Google is there. Not many such devices are there. Apart from that, you have many more things as a part. That is, you have toys, you have mobile robots and many more things. And in China, Flyzoo, there is a restaurant in which maximum thing is done with the help of robots, and those robots are connected to internet for all the information sharing. So you can say that is Internet of Robotic Things. Friends, if you want to see more information, you can go to Google and see Flyzoo. Flyzoo is from Alibaba. So it is the first IoT based complete smart hotel, or you can say a restaurant. So even in the assembly lines, IoT is used. In packaging systems, IoRT is used. So those are Internet of Robotic Things. So these drones are part of Internet of Robotic Things. Game playing robots are Internet of Robotic Things. This assembly line is also a part of Internet of Robotic Things. So let's see, friends, what is the life cycle of IoT. I hope till this point everything is clear to you and you're understanding what is exactly the Internet of Things, what are the different stages, what are the different applications, and let's see further what are the what is the life cycle of IoT. So what IoT does, basically it collects the information. The first part in the life cycle is collecting the information. And who helps in collecting the information? This is done with the help of sensors. So sensor plays a very, very, very important role in collecting the information. Now sensors are so cheap available now, cheap in the sense of low cost, not the literal meaning of cheap. So it is low cost, and it's huge sensors. Lot of sensors are available on many of the sites which are providing through e-commerce, like in Amazon you can see, you can Flipkart, even on you can see on Alibaba. Then so device will collect the data. It may be a data from your home, it may be data from your car, it may be data from your office, it may be from the manufacturing plant, it may be from the patient, and many more things. And friends, if you want to see more details about IoT, even you can see one of my videos which is there in my YouTube channel Kavedia sir, with the name of Introduction to IoT. So friends, second part is communicate. So sending the data and event through network at some destination. So the data should be sent to that particular destination. So who will do this job? A cloud comes into picture. So cloud will port the data from one point to another point. So it can be stored in the data center also. And the third part is to analyze. So analyze means after the data is available, I have to find out the information, what exactly is to be done with that data. So it may be the data may be for displaying, that may be for generating the reports, and many more things. Now take an example of our Ola booking. So when the information is sent to another place, that person come to know that I'm standing at this and this place and I need something what is called as a service from him. So he will send me the information. And finally there is an action. So taking action is based on information and data. So communication with another machine, So it may send a notification on email, or it may send a notification on SMS and talk to another system. So these are the four parts in the life cycle. That is, first the collection of the information, second is communication, third is analyze, and fourth action on this. So these are the four stages of life cycle. I hope this is clear to you, and we'll go to the next. So let's see now. From the first session you have seen what is embedded system, and after that I've connected that embedded system to internet and made something what is called as IoT. That is the second session. Now till this you have understood what is IoT, what is the concept, what is the sensor, but the thing is how to implement. So for implementing we need some controllers, from sensors, some hardware. So more details we will see in the next session. But right now it's a simple introduction with what is the hardware which can be used for IoT. So one of the hardware I can use Arduino, my Arduino board for IoT. So why I should use Arduino? Because it is simplest and cost effective, and it's an open source hardware. It is freely available. I have a lot of libraries available. Programming can be done in conventional C language. But thing is that it's not always that I can use Arduino in IoT. But why I am not supposed to use Arduino? Because no specific information, and it's a simple embedded part, but a simple embedded board, and it is just to collect the information and pass on. It can do simple processing, but it cannot do real-time processing. So if you need real-time processing, I'm not supposed to use Arduino. I have to go for some other board. Then there is no precise control, because here I am writing the code in C language and it is being transported to my Arduino board. Now take an example of 8051. In that I am writing hex file to my controller. So I can do some changes in that hex file as the things which I need. But in case of Arduino, I cannot do any such control at low level. I am writing the code in C and I am just transferring that code to the hardware. So there is no intermediate process in between. But if you take an example of 8051, that is, I am writing the code in C language, converting the hex file, and then a hex file is ported in the 8051 memory. So I can do changes in the hex file, but that is not the case here. So wherever I need precise control, I cannot go for Arduino. So what I should go for? So the next is Raspberry Pi. Now Raspberry Pi on itself is a computer because it is working on OS, that is Raspbian. It is a distro of Linux, and it has facility to connect monitor, keyboard, and on board it has Bluetooth connectivity, Wi-Fi connectivity, it has 1 GB of RAM and many more such parameters that we will see in our further videos. But then why not, where I'm not supposed to use Raspberry Pi? So suppose if I want to just collect the information, then I'm not supposed to use Raspberry Pi. I can use Arduino over there. Arduino will take the information and pass it on to Raspberry Pi. But then if I need a real-time processing, I should go for Raspberry Pi. We'll see further what programming and things can be done. So friends, I hope this session is clear to you. This is one day IoT workshop. Here I am ending the session 2, which is Internet of Things. So in this session, I've started with what is Internet of Things, how this can be implemented, what is the different stages, what is life cycle, what is sensor, what is actuator. In short, I've explained you, and I've ended up with what are my boards which I can use for IoT. So in my first session, I've introduced what is embedded system. In my second system, I'm introducing you what is IoT. So now the concept of this two is clear to you. Now it's implementation time. So in the third session, we'll see how it can be implemented. Till then, attempt the test, and I hope this time you will score very nice, and I hope you might have jotted down all the answers. In between I've asked you the questions. So all the best for the first test. It will be starting in some time. Thank you.